What's up, YouTube? Weakness Policy here, bringing you another episode of Shield and Sword. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about items. Now, I may post a video here and there about battling with the said items, just to show of an example. But, to start off, we'll be talking about items. So, if this is your first time playing competitively, just like myself here with Shield and Sword, it's better that you know that you're better off having items. If you're playing this game without items, you're playing this game wrong. And I think anyone will tell you that. Now, are items crucial? I'd like to say yes. So, why do I focus on items and why am I emphasizing on items, right? Now, these are examples of some of the items that are used in Shield and Sword. Now, we're not going to cover everything. We're just going to cover some of the basics and maybe just 6 of the most commonly used items. There are other items, and maybe we'll get to that if this video gets enough likes. But for right now, we'll go ahead and start off with this. So, Big Z number 888 from Shield and Sword. So he has the Intrepid Sword. Not much to say about that one. As long as he has that, it's he changes forms. He gets a +1 attack. Blah 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 blah, and he's the only one that can benefit from it. So this item doesn't really count. So, let's start off with the Focus Sash here. So, what is Focus Sash? So, with Focus Sash, right, if you have a Pokemon at full health and you were to be KO'd that turn, the Focus Sash guarantees you to survive for at least that one hit. It's basically Endure with an item, and it doesn't guarantee that you'll live for the turn, but sometimes this gives you the edge. For example, the reason I have the Focus Sash on the Torkoal is because if I see especially right now with Season 8, Kyogre is, one of those Pokemon that is just very popular. And I'm not saying that Torkoal is the answer, but the thing about Torkoal is he is going to be the slowest thing out there, and he has Yawn. Normally for me, I want to lead Torkoal Venusaur here for the Sunny Day and the extra speed that I get from Sunny Day on Venusaur, but that's talking strategy, not items. So yeah, for the most part, I want him to live at least a Water Spout or any other type of water move, and then at the end of the turn, Yawn. So what Yawn will do is it'll force your opponent to either switch out, or if they leave the Pokemon in, they will have they'll be put to sleep. And this happens on the second turn, not on the first turn. So yeah, that's up to them. Another way you can use the Focus Sash is you could use it on more or less on the Dragapult, and that was very common early around like things season 1 through 5. The reason is so back then, before Crown of Tundra, Isle of Armor, this thing was the fastest thing out there, I think, besides Ninjask. And so what you'd do is you'd hit me really hard, you would survive a hit, and then you would hit me hard again. And at that point, this thing probably got 2 KOs, and it wouldn't even matter if it got KO'd after the second turn. Yeah, more or less, the Focus Sash is just there for an offensive Pokemon that is you're probably gonna max out the EVs with the like max attack, max speed, or max special attack and max speed for the most part. And yeah, you just want to get your hit in and survive in case somebody outspeeds you for the next turn, right? One last example I'm gonna give is you could give it to Urshifu. You could Wicked Blow turn 1, get hit by a Moonblast, survive, and then if that Pokemon was faster than you on turn 1, then you would just do something like Sucker Punch to finish the KO. Yeah, moving on. So let's go ahead and talk about the weakness policy. Yeah, not me, but the weakness policy item here that we have in front of you. So weakness policy is really good. And it's probably going to be like top 3 items that you're going to see in VGC. Basically what it does is if you're weak to something and you get hit by that, it uses the policy, right? And what that does is it gives you +2 physical attack and +2 special attack. Now, why do we care, right? Well, for example, if you have a Pokemon with like this one here, this Colossal, right? This thing has 145 special attack. If you go up 2 stages, it's basically double. So now your moves are doing close to almost 300 with the special attack. Now, I'm not saying that's a 300 exact number, but it's in the calculation, right? So now your special attack double and you're able to do whatever you want basically. Other users known for the weakness policy is probably a Zygarde with the Comfey. That could also work. A Groudon, or not a Groudon, a T-Tar with Dusclops that uses Bulldoze, anything like that. For the most part, if you have a weakness policy and you normally what people do is they build a team that can self-proc, because let's say this Colossal has weakness policy and I have no one to activate the policy for him. I'm basically relying on my opponent to hit me with something super effective, and if that never happens because they suspect I have it, then it's kind of useless. So you at least want to have one person that sets it up. This is one of the most common setups. I have Dragapult, Colossal. It's a pretty strong duo. The idea here is you Gigantamax the Colossal, and depending on what's on the other side, you're either gonna do the G-Max Vocalith for that residual damage over time, or you're gonna do a super effective move, whether it's stab or not, right? And then the Dragapult's there for the Surf. Now the Dragapult's an excellent user because it's not getting outsped by almost anything unless it's an Uber with a Choice Scarf or it's a Regieleki. But Regieleki for the most part doesn't carry Fake Out, and anybody faster than Dragapult also that actually anybody faster than Dragapult almost can't KO it in one turn. So there's that. So the thing about Dragapult is it can't be flinched unless you brought Scrafty, Pokemon with Scrafty, so like Kangaskhan and stuff like that, right? Where they can hit a Ghost type with normal type moves. That's very uncommon, and unless you have that, which you probably won't see it like in top ladder, you're good to go. For the most part, Dragapult was used offensively, but he's a really good support. Not gonna lie, he is really good support. Don't look at this moveset. This moveset is still in the works. Breaking Swipe is basically Reflect in a sense. Reflect reduces damage by 33%. Breaking Swipe brings down the physical attack by 1 stage. Technically, it's the same thing. If this thing had Snarl, believe me, Reflect and Light Screen would not be a thing on this Pokemon. But yeah, other uses for weakness policy, not so many. I mean, yeah. For the most part, all you want to do is Gigantamax something, and then have one of your Pokemon hit it with a super effective hit. Now, be careful because when I say super effective hit, now you want to make sure that super effective hit is not going to do a lot of damage. Dragapult does have a pretty high special attack, but because it's doing Surf, it's hitting everyone in the field, and that 90 base damage, I believe, is now going to be reduced because of that, right? And it doesn't get stabbed, which because he's not a water type. So there's that. There's other users that have been using like Dragonite with Inner Focus, so that way in case it gets faked out, he could still do something like Aqua Jet. My only fear with Aqua Jet is that Dragonite is a physical attacker, and so I'm afraid that actually is going to hurt the Colossal, even Gigantamax, and I don't want to experience a crit in that part, right? But yeah, weakness policy. You can actually buy it in the game if you go to the battle tower. It costs 20 BP, and do be careful because if you use if one of your Pokemon has weakness policy and you encounter something in the wild, and your Pokemon gets hit by a super effective hit, it's gone. So just be careful not to use it in a raid. Don't use it in the wild area or anywhere. Just make sure that if you have a weakness policy, it is for battle tower or to battle online. Yeah, you'd hate to use your weakness policy by accident, right? All right, moving on. So Venusaur with a Life Orb. Yeah, Life Orb, right? What does it do? So Life Orb increases your damage dealt by 30%, but you do lose a little bit of life. it's good and bad. So the 30% extra damage is really good. The reason you would want to use something like this on like a Venusaur or something else is because you want to max out the attack, the special attack, right? Because he's a special attacker. And then, yeah, granted an extra 30%. I think that's really good. So the only, like I said, the only drawback is just that, yeah, it's yeah, you lose a little bit of health. I mean, it's a small trade, and it's very obvious when you have one of these, because when you attack first and you lose a little bit of health, it's almost like 100% guaranteed that you have a life orb. Aside from that, is there any other bad things about it? Not really. The reason this is really good, it's you get an extra 30%, right? For your move powers, and then you're not stuck with just using one move or not using status element moves, right? Like protect and sleep powder and things like that. Yeah, the main benefit is your power just gets increased by 30%, and that's the move power, not your attack wise. So be careful with that. But yeah, for the most part, you want to Dynamax a Pokemon with Life Orb. They also do good as a sweeper, probably like late game. But yeah, normally you see a Dynamax Pokemon with a Life Orb. Yeah, I'm trying to elaborate on anything else, but I don't think there's anything else that you need to worry about besides that. Yeah, this is also an item that you can buy from the battle tower, I believe, and you can also, yeah. Let's just go with that. Let's leave it simple. Okay, so we're down to 3 items. I do have 3 other items I want to focus, but one of those items is going to be broken down because there's they work the same way, but in different forms, and we'll get to that. So another item that it's kind of gained popularity is the safety goggles. It wasn't something used earlier on, like around season 1 through like maybe 3 or 4, like before Isle of Armor, because everybody was offensive and everything like that. But yeah, safety goggles prevents you from sleep powder moves or powder moves. So like Spore, Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, things like that, right? It protects you from that. Now that doesn't mean you can't be put to sleep. That just means that if they were to use a powder move, it won't affect you. So things like Yawn will still put you to sleep. Gmax News, if they got lucky, that also will put you to sleep. But yeah, the other thing is you won't get hit by weather residual. So like for instance, if there's a sandstorm and at the end of the turn you would take damage, with the safety goggles you won't. So that's also something to consider. Dragapult, it's a okay option. I think I just added it just for the video, but yeah, you put a thing on things like Incineroar maybe, just to prevent that, because normally you're gonna switch out the Incineroar to take a hit, or just to reduce the attack, or to be annoying with the parting shot. And yeah, and safety goggles is really good, especially now that we have like Venusaur up there in the meta, and then you have people who use Yawn, well not Yawn but other sleep powder moves, and you have Amoonguss. Do not forget Amoonguss. Please don't forget about Amoonguss. He has Spore. That is guaranteed sleep, unless you're under electric terrain, or you have an ability that doesn't let you put to sleep, or no. So safety goggles is a pretty good option. One thing you can do is maybe have the sleep goggles user in the back, and if you suspect that their Amoonguss is gonna go for a Spore, just switch into it. They lose a turn for the most part, right? Because they didn't get to do anything. You could also ally switch if you know or suspect that they're going to target somebody with a powder move. But yeah, safety goggles pretty good. Like I said, it has grown in popularity. A location you can get it from is it's in Route 7, or by the south of the camp. Yeah, I mean, if you miss it in Shield and Sword, you also get it in Crown of Tundra, and it's over at the tunnel to the top area. I don't remember exactly where, but it's also in that location. All right, moving on. So one last thing before we get to the Other items, the assault vest. All right, so let's talk about assault vest. So assault vest, right? Good, bad, mediocre. No, this thing is really good. So for instance, I don't Kartana, right? This thing level 100, special defense is 99. So what did the assault vest do, right? Let's start off with that. So the assault vest, it increases your special defense by 50%, at the cost of you not being able to use any moves that don't involve attacking. So things like sword stance, protect, ally switch. So if it doesn't involve attacking, then you know what, look at it this way: if it turns into max guard, then you can't use that move, because there are moves that aren't attacking moves but they are considered attacking moves. But yeah, so long that a move turns into max guard, while you have an assault vest, you can't use it. So a perfect example of a user that was using it earlier on was Kartana. Special defense 99, right? Give it the assault vest, and now it has 100 and what is it, like almost 150. But here's the thing. Honestly, for me, in my opinion, probably the Kartana would have a focus sash, because even if you give it an assault vest, do you really think it's gonna survive a flamethrower from a Charizard? I don't think so. It's quad. It is quad. Weak to it. I have seen it being used on the Duraludons, so that they don't have to invest anything on it. And yeah, you would say that it's basically the same, almost the same ordeal. Well, this thing's a level 50 at 70, at 70 special defense, but yeah, with that, it would probably be at like what, like almost 110. Yeah, you increase it by 35, so it's 105, and then you Dynamax this thing. It's gonna survive a special hit. Yeah, Cortana, not the let's not look at who has the item. I would have liked to use it on somebody who will benefit it better, but yeah, for the most part, that's all you want to do. The assault vest is usually like on tanky Pokemon, or just Pokemon that are probably gonna Dynamax so they can survive special attack hits. Yeah, nothing much to say about the assault vest. The you can acquire it at the BP station. At the BP station. We can talk about gas. No, you could get it from the battle tower for 25 BPs, and yeah, really good. Again, one of the popular items. And last but not least, so there's 3 items I wanted to talk here, and it is the choice band, the choice specs, and the choice scarf. So essentially, it's what it's called. It lives up to its reputation. So choice. By what they mean is you get to choose one move and one move only. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you would want to use this on a Pokemon that you know that that's all they're going to do. The choice band has been used on Rillaboom, on who was the other guy, on the Wicked Blow person, Urshifu, Pokemon like that. And the reason is choice band, unlike when we were talking about Life Orb, right? So, hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, the choice band, what that does, all of these choice items, right? They increase one of your stats by 50%, and it's the one that, depending on the item, right? So, like for instance, you got a choice band. So, the Kangaskhan has what, an attack of 115. So now with the choice band, his attack is increased by 50%. So 50% of that is almost 60. So he's almost at like, hey, he's almost at 160 with yeah, just free. And yeah, you are subjected to one move, but it's only while the Pokemon is active. So if you were to switch him in and out, you get to reselect the move. And if you were to Dynamax, the choice items don't carry over. So you technically lose it while you're Dynamaxed, and then if you had chose a move already prior to Dynamaxing, then you go back to choosing just that one move. So like for instance, I have a Kangaskhan here, right? Let's say I Earthquake, and then I bring someone that that's weak to Earthquake, and I say, oh well, I don't have anything to switch into, so I'm gonna Dynamax, and then go on from there. The thing is, once my Dynamax is over, I'm back to just using Earthquake. Now if I were to switch in and out, I can basically reset and choose another move. Same thing with the choice specs. You get to choose a move, except what the choice specs do is they increase your special attack by 50%. So in this case, this thing's attack is 155. Half of that is what, like 78. So add 78 to 155, you're looking at almost 130 special attack just by adding an item. You see how strong this could be? And this isn't even Dynamax. This thing can just hyper beam you and probably KO. Especially with adaptability. Yeah, same ordeal. You're stuck with one item, and if you Dynamax, so once you Dynamax, this item no longer applies. So it's kind of like you lost it temporarily, and then once your Dynamax is over, it comes right back. Same thing with this. Same thing with that. But yeah, special attackers are the ones that are gonna benefit from this. For the most part, another person that you could use it on is this guy right here. This guy right here. So he has eruption, right? This guy's special attack. Look at it. It's sitting at 190. Now increase that by 50%, and then click on eruption. Oof, that is not a fun time for your opponent. But moving on, the choice scarf. So this one's kind of weird because this is the last one. They don't have one that increases your special defense by 50%. And you're stuck with one move. They don't have anything like that. Not HP or anything like that. So, choice scarf. What does that do? Well, that increases your speed by 50%. Think of it as one stage, right? Yeah, this guy's speed is 95. Increase it by half. You're looking at like almost 140 area. And all you did was just add that. Now there was a time where in VGC there was people who were using this thing with a choice scarf and and just pressing buttons in Draco Meteor. And to be fair, hey, you know what? Hey, if it's available in the game, you might as well use it. But yeah, now all this does is increase your special attack. And I shouldn't say all. No, I should not say that's all that does. No, sometimes that's the game winner. The way beneficiary of this thing was the Dracovish. This Dracovish. Oh my gosh. So this is the wrong Dracovish. This one has Sand Rush, but there's a Dracovish with Strong Jaw, right? He has Strong Jaw and he has Fish's Rend. Fish's Rend. So for those of you that probably haven't played this game in a while or don't even know who Dracovish is, Fish's Rend. Here we go. Let's look at this together, right? Shall we? Oh my gosh, Fish's Rend. Look at that. So the user whatever. We don't need to know about the first part. If the user attacks before the target, the power of this move is doubled. And guess what you are? You're a water type. So yeah, regular power 85. Regular base power 85. Now, you have a choice scarf and you maxed out the speed on this thing. This thing's speed, I believe, is 123. I want to say 123 at level 50. So 123 with the choice scarf, you're looking at almost 190, almost 200-ish, right around there. And yeah, so long that it wasn't a Dragapult or a Regieleki, this thing was going first. Yeah, this thing was going first. So now you're doing 85 plus 85 plus stab, and the strong jaw ability where if you attack with a jaw move like crunch or basically a bite, like Fish's Rend, crunch, psychic fangs, things like that, it also increases that, I think, by 20%. So that's a lot of damage. Yeah, now people were not Dynamaxing Dracovish, to be fair, so let's yeah, if Dracovish was out there, it was safe to say it had a choice scarf and it was probably going to outspeed you. But yeah, that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and add them in the comment section below. If you guys like a video like this where it's educational and not just battle heavy, where we press buttons and not explain what's going on, I mean, yeah, please let me know. We can go ahead and maybe explain more of the items like Lagging Tail, for instance, and why we would use it on Grimmsnarl ever. Things like Light Clay and why does that exist. Well, why more or less you would use a Light Clay. But yeah, go ahead and do that. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and see you guys in the next one. What's up, everyone? I hope you enjoyed my video as much as I enjoyed creating it. As a content creator, I encourage comments, likes, and dislikes. I mean, hey, everyone is entitled to their opinion. One thing I do ask is to hit the subscribe button before you exit. Weakness Policy signing out. Catch you all on the next one. Peace!